Nights in Milwaukee sports history ends in a coronation. And the brilliance of the young man from Athens. Another crushing finish for Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns after a superb season.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy D baby. I'm back on the NBA commentary video today. And in today's video, we're talking about some NBA dark horse teams that might make the finals this year. So if you are new, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment. I'm not gonna make this intro too long, but I just want to make the intro crisp and clean for y'all. So let's get right into the video. Sheesh! My oh my, some NBA teams have been on the rise. Teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, Chicago Bulls, Cleveland Cavaliers, the Miami Heat, and many more. They actually might have a chance of being a contender in the East and Western Conference. In this video, I'm talking about some NBA dark horse finals contenders. As for some prediction might be wrong, but it's a fun deal, so why not do it? I just want to give my comment, just my honest opinion about some young NBA teams. Like we saw the Milwaukee Bucks last season along with the Phoenix Suns, nobody saw them making the NBA Finals, as they thought the teams that were making the NBA Finals would often be the Los Angeles Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets. But that narrative changed differently. Lebron and KD went out of gas with their teams, and their narrative changed completely.
On top of all the things that this series represents, it is the first round series that LeBron James has lost in his career.
Well, they'll take on the winner between the Sixers and the Hawks, who will play Game 7 tomorrow night in Philadelphia. For the Bucks, their first ever
rule, the foul will be reviewed to
And then this led to teams like the Bucks and Suns emerging the East and Western Conference and being almost two of the best teams in the NBA at the time. Despite being the top seed in the East and West, they faced off in the NBA Finals later on. For example, now this shows teams nowadays are growing younger and developing a young core of players, as in the NBA, anything can happen. Teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Miami Heat, and the Utah Jazz, and the Chicago Bulls, they all can make a long run in the playoffs. So if they make a long playoff run and make a finals, don't come at me here. Let's talk about the first team I have here. The first team I have here is the Chicago Bulls, led by DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, and Lonzo Ball, with some key other role players. The Chicago Bulls can definitely bring the chance of making it to the NBA Finals this season. Right now, they're the league best with a record of 26-10, with the first in the Eastern Conference, and they're easily shocking the NBA as of late. Along with some mediocre signs of DeMar DeRozan and the pick of Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso, this team wouldn't be good. But on offense, on paper, they really are. As of right now, the Bulls are first in 3-point percentage in the NBA at 38%, which is really good. They often shoot their shots from the mid-range pull-up jumpers and or the corners. This is really good as they shoot their shots at most of the mid-range pull-ups, or even the corners, or even deep from the 3-point line. They're also the third best shooting team from the top of the key in the 3-point arc. They're also one of the top 10 teams in scoring right now, and they can hurt you from anywhere. There's a superior offense despite to their mid-okay defense that can pick up maybe in the playoffs if they roll into a long playoff run. But as you can see in the playoffs, many of the stats on offense can be reduced as defense is picked up as the game is slowed down on a night-to-night basis. But as you know, they're both starting five in the emergence of Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan and Lonzo Ball. Many of the players off the bench can come alive come the NBA Finals and can give a team a run of their money come the summertime. But those y'all who said DeMar DeRozan isn't a playoff player, y'all might see in the playoffs. So the NBA, watch out.
He ain't lying. Welcome to the dark. Welcome to the dark.
Alright, on to the next team I have on my list, and that team is the Memphis Grizzlies. With the tremendous growth of Ja Morant, he's looking like an MVP candidate himself, along with the league's most improved player as well, with running mate Jaren Jackson Jr. We all know the Grizzlies play team basketball. They're fourth in the West right now, and they've been playing very well as of late. They even been playing well with Ja in and out of the lineup at times, to even be truly honest. But with the player Desmond Bane and other role players, they can be very crucial to why the Grizzlies can make a long playoff run. I can say the Memphis Grizzlies can be contenders because of their efforts on the defensive end and both sides of the court. The Memphis Grizzlies, as of right now, they've been playing out of their mind as they've been playing regardless of who their opponent is. Despite their percentage of being 500 or above, they won a good percentage of their games, and they are 14-7 versus good teams in the league, like the Warriors, Suns, and the other teams over 500. As also, they are almost the best defensive team in rebounding, blocking shots, deflections, and many other things in defensive categories that you've never seen before your eyes. But as in the playoffs, the defense tightens up, so I'm sure the Grizzlies will bring to a higher level degree on defense. The only problem with the Grizzlies is their lack of three-point shooting. Despite them leading the league in paint points along with fast break points, in the playoffs when the game is slowed down, obviously the Grizzlies make some noise and even go beyond the team's expectations. But in the playoff times, I know paint points are very reduced, so they might have to rely on the 3-point ball. But we'll see about how their 3-point shooting goes, as in the playoffs they can probably emerge and be the best in the West, so we'll see about that. And even the playoffs last season versus the Warriors, so if they make the long run in the playoff run, I won't be surprised if they face a team like the Warriors, Suns, Clippers, or anybody else in the West. But yeah, that's why I see the Memphis Grizzlies as being a second dark horse for me in the Western Conference. Alright, the next team I have on my list is the Utah Jazz. The Jazz, as I will call them, the regular season Warriors, they shrink in the playoffs despite them having a shooting center with a defensive presence in Rudy Gobert. As for his running mate Donovan Mitchell as well. The Jazz play well every regular season as they make some noise in the playoffs. As for the Jazz right now, they are lights up from 3-point land as they lead the league in 3-point make, as well as them being first in offensive rating. All these stats might change come playoff time, but we'll see how that goes in the summertime, as the Jazz often flop in the playoffs, as I'll say it again. The Jazz right now are top 5 in defense, as they're the defensive player of the year candidate and Rudy Gobert being the anchor of their defense. As for the Jazz, they defend the 3-ball very well, as they're the best in the league at doing it, as they're 10th in opponent's points per game. As I must say, that's very good for a 3-point shooting team who play defense on both ends of the court, as I won't be surprised if they flop or do in the playoffs come the first or second round, but we shall see come playoff time. Lastly, to end the video off, I'm not going to get about these two teams in the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Although these teams are both dogs on the defensive and offensive mind of the court, let's talk about them for a moment.
They clearly are getting off to great starts. It's Butler inside and takes it in on Finney-Smith and gets it to go.
Alright, as for the Miami Heat and both the Cleveland Cavaliers, first let me talk about the Miami Heat. First for the Miami Heat, they're top 5 in 3-point percentage, as they're also 8th in assists. They are top 15 in scoring with the players like Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero. All these players can give you 15 to 20 points on a given night at a decent rate. But for the Heat, their defense is holding it down as they're 4th in opponent's points per game. But the Heat, they also pass the ball very well as they're 8th in assists, as I mentioned. As for the Miami Heat, when they're very healthy, they can be dangerous on the offensive end and fairly good on the defensive end. So don't be so shocked when they win come playoff time. But lastly, for my dark horse contender, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 6th right now in the East, I think, if I'm correct. But for the Cavs, they are dogs on the defensive end as they're first in point differential, as they're winning most of their games by a higher margin of victory, as it says. But honestly, the Cavs, they play very good defense as they're first in defensive rating and 5th in net rating combined for 100 possessions, as they're also 3rd in defensive rating. But for the Cavs, again, they're dogs on the defensive end, and defense wins the championships at the end of the day. And when the game is slowed down, they can make some noise come playoff time. But as for their roster, they're missing key players like Isaac Coro, Colin Sexton, and Ricky Rubio. But if they recover faster than usual, the Cavs team might be dangerous come down the road. But regardless of how they play, they already exceed expectations. But besides the first or second round exit, don't be surprised if they make it to a conference finals again like when LeBron was there. But yeah, those are all my dark horse contenders, and let me know your thoughts. But if you are new, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to keep running these uploads up because I'm trying to upload daily if I can. I think we're like 12 or 13 days in as this recording, so let me know your thoughts. And it's your boy Dean, baby. Have a good day, y'all. Stay blessed, stay healthy, and keep uploading at the time of this pandemic. But yeah, I'm out. It's your boy Dean, baby. Have a good day, y'all. I'm out. Peace.